This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for November 4, 2022. And in the news tonight, bodies found following house fire in Norwood, St. James. The St. James police are probing the deaths of two men whose bodies were discovered following a house fire in Hendon, Norwood Friday morning. The deceased have been identified by the alias Monkey and Shane. It is believed that the men were killed and then the house was set ablaze, according to police at the scene. A police and military team, including senior detectives, came to the scene. It is reported that the fire was seen coming from the premises sometime around 1 a.m., but the police were not alerted until shortly after 8 a.m. The fire department was also summoned, and upon arrival at the scene, firefighters carried out cooling down operations. The bodies of the two men were found during a search of the rubbles. Several injured in major Melrose Hill bypass crash. At least 3 people were killed and several others injured in a two-vehicle crash along the Melrose Hill bypass in Manchester this morning. First, the responders were at the scene. The crash involved a taxi and a van. Both vehicles had several passengers aboard. According to eyewitnesses, the taxi was traveling along the roadway when the van reportedly broke the one-way and collided with the car. Several persons in both vehicles sustained injuries. The crash had caused a traffic pileup along the busy roadway. Man shot and injured off Maxfield Avenue. A man was shot and injured by masked gunmen along Fitzgerald Avenue off Maxfield Avenue, St. Andrew Friday morning. He is now in hospital nursing multiple gunshot wounds. Crime scene investigators combed the area. Drive-by shooting near Alpha Primary School. A man escaped injury after coming under a gun attack along South Camp Road in Kingston Friday morning. The attack was carried out by men on a motorcycle. A car was hit by bullets during the incident. The attack happened near Alpha Primary School, which caused the parents and the students to take cover. So too did vendors. The shooting has left persons shaken. The roadway was cordoned off by the police as investigators combed the area. Call ahead at the police station to avoid being arrested and charged for illegal firearm, says Chang. For persons who have asked whether they would be arrested and charged by the police if they were caught with an illegal firearm during the 2-week gun amnesty that gets underway this Saturday, November 5, the answer is yes. If caught, such a person will not be able to claim that they were on their way to hand over an illegal gun unless they had called ahead at the nearest police station to indicate that they were on their way with a weapon. The Minister of National Security, Dr. Harris Chang, who tabled the Firearms Prohibition Restriction and Regulations Firearms Amnesty Order 2022 in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, warned that with the new, more punitive Firearms Act now in force, the full force of the law will apply. This means that persons who run afoul of the law face sentences ranging from 15 years to life imprisonment. The law took effect on Tuesday. How does a person who wants to make use of the amnesty avoid being charged with an offense? By calling ahead to the nearest police station to inform the sub-officer on duty that they are on their way to hand over a weapon. Chang, who announced the amnesty, emphasized that this was particularly important. He said that for persons who are of the view that they may expose themselves unduly, there are several numbers in the gun amnesty order for them to call, including 811-876-968-9533 and 876-838-3904. The security minister said that by calling ahead, persons will alert the police, the authorities, that they are coming with an illegal firearm, so that if they are apprehended on the way, they would have had a record to show that they are not just trying to pull a wool over the eyes of the police. Separately, the order outlines that licensed firearm holders in possession of expired authorizations may surrender their weapons to the Firearm Licensing Authority. Additionally, members of the general public may surrender a firearm and/or ammunition to any sub-officer or senior sub-officer on duty at any police station, any designated officer at any FLA location, or to an attorney at law on behalf of the individual seeking the amnesty. The attorney will deliver the firearm or ammunition to the nearest police station. Bus driver involved in Constant Spring Road collision charged. The bus driver involved in Tuesday's major traffic accident along Constant Spring Road in St. Andrew has been charged. Assistant Commissioner Gary McKenzie, head of the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, told the news that the driver, David Palmer, has been charged with the offense of dangerous driving. He is booked to appear in court on November 11. Several people were injured when a Toyota Coaster bus driven by Palmer slammed into a van at a traffic stop. This set off a series of collisions that left 8 vehicles badly damaged. ACP McKenzie said while Palmer was being processed, it was discovered that he had 120 outstanding traffic tickets. Heart is still necessary as students leaving school without required skills, says the Prime Minister. Jamaica continues to grapple with a high number of secondary-level students leaving the formal system without the requisite skills. This is according to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who says that the problem persists despite the efforts of the Heart NSTA Trust. Mr. Holness said Heart was conceptualized to support growth and ensure young people have a second chance to reach their full potential. As schools continue to turn out students not yet at the level where they are considered employable, he said this solidifies the fact that Heart is still relevant in today's circumstances. Prime Minister Holness believes the National Skills Training Agency should offer a type of education that runs parallel to the traditional form, giving students the opportunity to be exposed to the entirety of the spectrum of education. He suggested this should be true especially at the primary and the secondary levels to allow students to discover their aptitude, skills, and competencies early so they can decide at a later stage what to specialize in. Mr. Holness was delivering the Edward Siaga Human Development Lecture on the 40th anniversary of Heart NSTA Trust.
The creation of Heart still exists today. Our secondary school system is simply not turning out the students at the level of education that makes them trainable to get them to the next step of being employable. It doesn't mean that Heart has failed. What it means is that Heart is still relevant in today's circumstances. You should not seek to create a dichotomy in education because all individuals need to be exposed to the entirety of the spectrum of education. It is at a later stage that you specialize. But in the primary levels and secondary levels, you need to have wide exposure because it is at that point that you need to have this diversity, that you can truly have choice, that you can truly discover your skills and aptitude and competencies. As society progresses, the level of skills that you need to have to function increases.
Bike taxi operator and a woman die in Westmoreland crash. A bike taxi operator and a woman died in Little London, Westmoreland this morning after they were run over by a truck. The news understands that the man was transporting the woman through the Old Hope community when he overtook the truck. It's not clear what happened next, but the vehicles made contact and the man and the woman were crushed. Jamaicans urged to use health centers to reduce overcrowding at hospitals. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton is again encouraging Jamaicans to make use of their community health centers to help reduce overcrowding at hospitals. Dr. Tufton says persons should visit their nearest health center once they are not severely ill.
We in public health have a very big responsibility to help you in making those health-seeking choices. And so the primary healthcare infrastructure in the community, these nurses you see in khaki looking outfits or blue outfits, is I'm prepared to court controversy by saying it's more important than the hospitals in many respects, because it is the effectiveness of that intervention at the community level that's going to delay your requirement and demand for the hospital system. We are reviewing and revamping the services Because when you look at the health profile of the population now, as opposed to 10 years ago, that profile is changing. In other words, we're seeing more cases of premature illness, meaning people getting sick early, including in the schools, children as early as that. That is a direct function of lifestyle.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.